Okay, I'm going to be recording another game. Pretty normal position for me to get. They're controlling the square very well. I shouldn't be able to push this. I'll probably push d3 to free the bishop and allow knight's development. In fact, I will do that immediately. They go here. It's not preferable. Maybe I should start with like rook e1. Wait, what do I do? I mean, I guess it's opening up my bishop and making that play a role in the game. I mean, there, this pawn's weak, but then the bishop's very strong, so it's not a big deal. Not sure exactly where I'm going to put my knight or my bishop. I don't see much of a reason to make any immediate decisions, however, so there might be tactics, but they close it down. I don't think so. I'm going to play rook e1 because I think I'm almost certainly going to end up playing it anyways. I mean, I'm the kind of player who really would want to be playing f4, but I think that's just not right. This bishop is something. I don't know. Push this. Maybe.
That feeling when you're trying to build your credit, and it's like
pushing this
over and over again. Good news. Chase
Okay.
Credit Journey can help you with the person.
I don't know, this pawn is something I could go after. If you can kiddos a bunch, they haven't castled. I do really want to break. The issue is, wait, can I play this? Wait, what am I missing? Wait, here, takes. I can. It's not losing a pawn. I don't know why I thought that was so poor before. Of course I can do this. And now I'm going to try to just demolish them, because they should be fairly weak. I mean, there's just so many great squares to use. There isn't like anything too immediate. I mean, I don't think this position's winning, but I feel like I should be able to, you know, put some sauce in it. I need to defend this and this though. Could be a bit annoying, but after knight c3, this is probably defended well enough. They played that, which is questionable. I don't think there's any real reason to be playing this though. I'll just defend this pawn, so maybe I can develop my bishop here, and then this bishop will never be attacking this. Develop the bishop here, move the queen here, go for ideas like that. This is certainly a very pleasant position. It's also worth noting the potential power of the bishop, but I don't think this bishop. But for now I will just start. I could do this, which maybe encourages a weakness, and then maybe makes it so they can't really be castling. This is an interesting idea, certainly. I wonder, though, how maybe that would be problematic. This is targeting this, too, so I don't mind just starting like this. It is worth noting that this doesn't have enough defenders unless I move the rook over. I assume they're just going to play rook e1, but maybe they don't feel the need to, because I might have to preempt it with this. They capture the pawn. How big of a deal it is? Probably a pretty big deal. And I don't think there's any following tactics with my own bishop or whatever. They do this, which seems like a bad move to me. I do a little kick. Let's see, I do this, they go here, I'm not worried. So if they're ready to play this, they're going to go here, I guess. Takes, that's winning the pawn though, because I have ample defense to that square. I don't understand that move, so are they going to go back? If I go here, this move does not scare me. If I go here and they go here, it is just winning a pawn, so I'm just going to play this. And I really like that, I just really like this against the bishop. I think that's more annoying for them than it is for me. My bishop's still playing more of a role than this bishop, which isn't really doing much of anything, I think, and has to, migrate here, and maybe it's useful then, but yeah. So not only is it a bad move for the reason I initially thought, which is related to the bishops, but it's also just... there are ideas of pinning, but I'm going to just play this. But it's also a bad move because of the fact that the knight just gets kicked, so... And there are really big threats here regarding the knight, but they don't take it, which is probably smart. They're just trying to get the knight into the game. I assume I can push this h-pawn. If they take me, do they have anything annoying with the knight ever? I don't think so, so I can start with the h-pawn rather than takes. Start with the h-pawn, but I mean, it opens up a file, but is the file really useful for me? Probably not. I maybe should come up with a better plan. This is also a square, but probably not the very valuable one. The c-file will open up, presumably. Well, the c-file is open, and it presumably will be something that they utilize. I don't see a killer blow, unfortunately. I mean, I could push this all the way in, but I just don't see that being useful, and... I mean, this is good for me if I get the pawn on h6. I would like to think so, but I mean, just doesn't feel like enough. I want more. I have ideas of migrating this knight here, but again, I just don't see a way of demolishing them, which is really what I would like from this position. I guess takes here, but well, where are they going to move the knight to? Nowhere. They would lose a p, or they could go here, I guess. And then my desired square is this, but I of course cannot do that. I have to play like this and this and this, and it's kind of slow. But it might be the best I have to try to capitalize on the advantage. I mean, I could also start with this. No, I can't, probably. I really just don't want to be playing this. That's just abysmally slow. But I will have time to play this, I presume. And their knight doesn't have anything useful, and then I go here, and I'm threatening them, but it's like, okay, then they just kick the knight, and once they kick the knight, my queen is now gonna lead to a double pawns there. There's just nothing in this position, I guess, is kind of the lesson here, and does that mean I move the rook to the c-file? Like, what am I gonna do about it? Push the h-pawn, but like, who cares? I guess pushing the h-pawn gives the knight this square in the future, so, but it also it gives my queen less squares to slide to, but we're gonna do it. Just to give my knight an outpost. I'm not really a fan, but I have no clue what to do. There's just no win. Do I push it again? That's antithetical to the outpost idea. It does let me push it though. Is that useful? Probably not. There's also ideas of maybe bishop to h4, king up here, moving the rook here, and attacking them. Which at least intrigue me a little. They're gonna go for ideas like this and this. Get maybe the trades. I just wish I had other squares to utilize in this effort, but I do not. Well, they're gonna try to break this open. Should I just start with this, and then maybe play this? Should I start like that? Is there any real reason to keep the knight here? This is good at covering that knight on a square. Yeah, I'm gonna play this, I think. Just to restrict them. It's probably good to gain space like this. Might get a rook trade, we'll see. Now I can no longer kick this knight, but oh well, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that was a really stupid decision. This gives a weakness. I'm gonna take now like this. Here I will go here. This is really hasty there, but I might be able to leverage this. Yeah, I do like this. My knight's probably moving like this or something. Although that would stop me from playing this, because then after this, the rook's hanging. Yeah, this is getting sloppy, and I guess I should just sit around and do nothing and wait for my opponent to make a mistake. I don't know. Positions like this are really hard, because it's just, there's nothing for me to play for, I feel like. There's just no win. If you're not winning what you're supposed to do, that's a terrible move. I mean, it stops the plan, but I think they're being slow, and I think they really could have capitalized on my placement of the queen here. And the fact that I kind of need to move my knight like this. So, yeah, I just don't think it's a good idea. So we're just gonna do this. I've messed this up, but it's fine now. This also covers this square, actually, which is worth noting. So maybe this, or, well, I guess it's just that this is my only plan. I don't know. I called the move bad before, and I'm not so sure about it now. But I feel like intuitively I was right. I don't know. But this is happening, and it should be pretty good. But I don't really see how my queen's infiltrating, which is an issue. But they have no dark scored bishop, so a knight here is doing pretty well. Wait, they can still go here though, right? Wait, no, but that's this, and it's fine. Wait, so those are all the case? I don't know, I might be hallucinating things. This has been horrible for me, I think. But my position's still better, so there's that. Or is it? That's a cool move that I didn't see. It's kind of crazy, but maybe it's something, but I don't think it is. Why are we doing this? Really? You think you can attack me? Like, my opponent thinks they can attack me. Can they? I don't think so. Really? I mean, like, you're attacking me? I think I have to take it. They're gonna take with a knight, maybe? I don't know. Whatever. You do you. Seems like a really terrible move. So now they take with the minor piece, I presume. They can't take like this, I don't think, because of that. So I will just make sure this is amply defended. Granted, this isn't actually defending it, but I mean, come on. I could sack this as a move. Actually, does this defend this square? I mean, I can't play this though then, which is kind of slow, but... Or maybe I can because of the bishop. Like, if I go here and they go here, I go here, then they take with the rook, unfortunately. But like, if they were to win this pawn, let's say, could I maybe do this? But then if they take with that one, it's problematic. I don't know. I just don't believe my opponent can be doing this nonsense. Also, this is a fork. Granted, there's a bishop. I don't know what's going on exactly. I'm gonna just start with this. This is scary. I'm gonna just believe, I think, and not waste time. I'm just gonna make a decision and roll with it. I think that decision is gonna be this one. Also, this is a very weak diagonal, so gotta keep that in mind too. takes, and then this is a discovery, or like this is also a discovery, kind of. And, that might also work. Their king is just very weak. I don't know how they're getting to mine. Okay. Few ideas. This is an idea, maybe. Can't go there. I'm at least interested in this move. Pushing this is an idea. I'm gonna go here. They might try to kick me, but I think that's weakening the king even more, so. I don't think that any pawn issue is immediately of my concern. Also, it's worth noting that if I go here and they take it and I take it, then this rook is under attack. So that tempo could be worth something. But I don't really see it being all too useful. I really do want to push the h-pawn now. However, I don't think that's going to really be beneficial. Do I care much about the c-file? Probably not. I'm going to add a defender, I think. And then maybe try to use my knights. I wonder about this, but it's currently covered. It could be useful in the future. I mean, I really could. And then if I do that, the d-file is even stronger, so. I think I will play this move. Granted, of course, the defense is revealed, but I don't know, something's gotta give, I feel like. There's so much pressure. My pieces are just much better placed, my king is much safer. I'm wondering about ideas maybe of king h2, just so, I don't know, f-pawn can, I don't know, f-pawn, I don't know. Probably not a good idea, though. Pieces are very tied down, though. They're all doing important work for the opponent, more or less. Knight doesn't really have any immediate prospects and is threatening, which is a good thing for them, but this bishop, for example, I mean, it's controlling key squares, but it's not really threatening anything immediately, so it would need to become threatening somehow. And if I can just get the bishop off the diagonal, I mean, it's just winning. I mean, this move would just win the game if I could just get the bishop out. Also wonder if maybe the queen going bye-bye for the two rooks would be worth it, but probably not main consideration. Is there any way I could just get this bishop to... But no, I just don't think so. The square is a little annoying because it attacks the one pawn. I can go here too. Doubling up does make a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm inclined to support that way of playing. If I go here though, and then they go here, here, here. you have ideas like this. Pushing at the pawn, it can be a little terrible for me though. So I'm gonna just take it nice and slow. Yeah, I'm gonna go here. My issue is that there's just no open files. There's no direct way. There's no open diagonals. There's just nothing to... Well, there, I guess technically are open diagonals, and there technically are open files, but there's not enough, and there's not really strong squares for me to get my pieces to, presently. And I don't think there's any winning way to massage by force my opponent into losing. I wonder about the move knight to c4, and if I were to trade, if that would be good for my opponent. The take with the pawn. They have a passed pawn, but is the pawn more of a weakness? I'm unsure. I don't really see my opponent as any worse than that, at least. That's a terrible move, doesn't that? No, I thought about... Okay, that's not a terrible move. I thought that was the bishop in my mind, and then if that was the bishop, it would be losing. But no, that's not the bishop. Do I really care? Can I just play this? Probably. Yeah, I probably should play the bishop move. And I don't know, if, let's say the knight comes in afterwards. After, you know, the trade. I mean, it can't be that big of a deal. So I am just gonna play this. Also, I can always force the bishop back like that. That looks questionable. I feel like there would be very strong sacks at some point with that. Takes. Maybe there's nothing immediately, but I don't know, I don't like it. This move, for example, looks somewhat strong. At the very least, is not losing. So I'm gonna play it. And this is something that they might have to deal with. But in the future, it might give me weak squares if I can access stuff like that. They really should move the king, I think. It's kind of irresponsible to keep it there. And if it was my turn again, I think I would just sack the rook. That looks very powerful. Ideas like this might actually be strong too. Because after the trade, I mean, I guess if they play that, then my knight doesn't get to go that square back again. Yeah, that's tough. So if they go here, well, I guess if they go here, takes back with the queen. I'm not necessarily forced to do anything. Granted, this is also still an idea, and there are threats of discovery that I would have to calculate. They can't move the king, so they'd have to move the queen, say back there, and yeah, that seems like that would be winning. Yeah, I don't think this is a very difficult move. Although, I mean, moving the king to g8 if it's not the best move is a waste of time, so I'd understand them not playing it. Whoa. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it. They take it like this, I'm gonna sack the rook. Can't I still take like this though? Oh, but they are connected to the rook there. Wait, no. Takes. Here. Let's see what we can do. No, they took back with the queen, so there is no need necessarily to sack it immediately. There's no real benefit. Or... they will just play this. And I don't have a move. Also maybe ideas like this, for example, but what is that gonna do other than hang a pawn? I don't know. I also have ideas like this. What is that gonna do other than hang a pawn? I don't know. Play this. King h2, preventing any checks. Could be a decent move, but it relinquishes defense to the f square. This pawn is also free now to do whatever it wants. If they were to take, I would have to assume there's compensation. I have to make a move though. So I'm gonna start with this one. Just defend. And if they want an endgame, they can have their endgame. It's a little annoying with the knight, but I can figure it out. My knight would also be pretty annoying. This square is nice if I'm ever able to utilize it. If they want to takes no. Do I care though if I, for example, have to go like here, and if I go here and they take it, then if I go like here, there's the knight. So I will just drop back. Are there any threats related to that? I don't think so. This seems pretty safe to me. I mean, there is stuff brewing. This could get very bad for me, but yeah. go here. They're kind of asking me to do this, and I think I will. It's complicated. Also, might end up playing this at this point. Well, is there any reason for me to really care to keep it on this file? Or to attack the queen? Attack the queen, then... Go here. Are there any loose pieces? I wouldn't say so. It doesn't seem that way to me. I don't mind this. Go here. Are they... They're just asking for trouble, I think. There are no discovered checks or anything. They should be careful with the ways in which they try to add pressure. It seems to me at this point my opponent is better, but they are close to a catastrophe. I think, especially with the rook on here, because the queen, if I can sack this, I think that becomes even more powerful now. This seems like a strong move. If I sack this here and they take it, then that might be pretty good. I think I kind of have to do this, right? What if they take with the queen? Then is that problematic? Maybe. Could also start with this. Does this move do anything? I mean, it attacks this pawn. Stops defending that pawn, but I mean, there's a discovery. Who doesn't like a good discovery? I don't know how the discovery would be useful though. They did take that pawn. I don't see any useful ways to abuse it, but I kind of have to. I mean, I either move the knight or I don't. I'm gonna go here. If they take the pawn, then kudos to them. I do think that's the right move, but then I feel like there's gotta be some way to maybe find compensation. I'm getting kind of destroyed though. This is really bad. I wonder how maybe this would go, and then this square, and yeah, I don't have a useful discovery. Wait. Why isn't this a useful discovery? Why isn't this a useful discovery? What am I missing? Where's the queen gonna go? I don't have time. I just gotta move. I need to just play quicker. Right. I guess because this exists. And it's like, oh wow. Yeah, but I might be able to play like that. After this, isn't that... Oh. Wait, but if I take this here... I don't know. That's presumably fine. I think they had something but missed it. Still can't take me. don't know, let's just go here. Attack them. Down the pawn. But their king's in a weird place, they gotta make some moves. Before they can claim they're better. Or they don't, but you know, yeah. It's something. They can just defend and run back, and it's like, who cares? You know, I don't really feel like I have anything. Oh my god, wait. Come on. Come on. There's no move? Are you kidding me? I can't find a move. There's no move. Unbelievable.
There's a feeling when you find the right product, the item that feels like it was made for your store, the thing that makes everything click.
Oh, okay, that's a good move.
Moments. Thousands of brands, new arrivals.
Or maybe it's not, but I don't know. I was trying to do this, but
a hardware store finds teapots.
oh well.
A coffee shop discovers
Got my pawn back with now what feels like a better position.
An item that changes their assortment. With low minimums, retailers can trust their vision. One discovery leads to another. Fair, where retailers find what's next.
Why am I doing that? They're not gonna trade the fucking queen for the rook. So then what's my goal? This is a scary move for them to deal with. I have a lot of options. This might do something. Granted, there's a bishop. Probably not. We'll see. I guess at this point my goal is just to gang up on this pawn. And to take stock of this weakness here. That's an important point, too. Oh, and I'm also attacking this pawn, which I didn't realize. So there's that. There's ideas of this maybe F. Nah, the idea of this and this is a defensive idea. It's ridiculous. Okay, so they're attacking this. What will I do about it? I will take a pawn. It is worth noting that this comes with tempo. Am I stupid for not playing that? Wait, I might be the dumbest person alive. Why didn't I play that? Are you kidding me? I could have just done that. I will, just go here and not care? I can't believe I didn't play that. To go here, well, I can just play this probably. There might be a better way of doing it though. If they go here, I think I'm just gonna cut my losses with my low time and play that though. Whether or not it's the right move. I mean, you might be able to do something like this. Oh, but I'm defending it, and it's not like they have an immediate attack. And come on, that can't be. I'm a rook. It's up a rook. There's no way that doesn't work. Like, you're kidding me? You're gonna try this, and then this, but I'm defending the rook, and I just run here, and I mean, I don't know, something like that, but I mean, I'm attacking that square, but you know, they take with the rook, so I'd have to try something else like this, and I mean, come on, it's gotta work. And if they do this, then you know, this is disconnected from this, so I don't know why that would be useful in that scenario, but there's no way that works. Here, 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 here. I'm saying here. Just ridiculous. Then presumably we're taking like this. And presumably there's gotta be some way to do this with these pieces and the checks and... Okay. Here this is pretty trivial. Okay. So, not my best game, but... Ah. 75. Yeah, I don't feel like either of us played very well, I gotta say. Okay, we play moves, those moves do things. I didn't play d4, maybe I should have, but this is a fine way of playing too. Or maybe it's not. Yeah, I wasted a tempo, which is kind of insane. Although, maybe it's just because they played that move that I decided I wanted to break in the center, you know? So, I mean, no, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so they wanted me to do this immediately. Let me think about that. So if I go here, they take and I take. It's, I mean, I guess, yeah, the king is pretty open there. Granted, I think they could just cast and I don't really feel the pressure. I'm curious as to just how the engine line would proceed. Come on. So I'm interested because it dropped a lot. So does that have to do with just clicking on something wrong, or bishop g5 gets played? Okay, it's a different move. So looking at how this is played, was this all necessary though? Like, if I'm here as black, I'd probably take it. Maybe takes. You gotta move the knight, unfortunately, which is kind of a problem. They want knight to e5, which I believe loses a pawn. I don't know, I'll just go like here. Am I missing something? Yeah, I guess it's with this bishop move, they're kind of stuck defending it. If you go here, the bishop goes to... Or bishop takes. Oh yeah, and that'd be winning that. Yeah, I guess. So... Here, if they take, I would take, and they have to move this knight. And it wants bishop g5. But if they just castle, knight takes. Sure, bishop takes, makes sense. Rook takes e5. And then, yeah, that would work, I guess. But I don't know, here, and then bishop takes b7. The bishop is hanging. And if you were to do this, then that would be no good. Because either bishop takes or pawn takes, I think, would also be fine. Or apparently pawn takes doesn't work. Oh, because of the queen, yeah. That would be a rather unfortunate way to checkmate yourself. So, I see. And if they just move the knight, knight to d4 shown. I'm maybe being too just look at the engine, what the engine says, and agree with it, brained here. I mean, I'm looking at the lines, but I should maybe be predicting what the lines are. I don't know. Yeah, so I should have been more aware of the tension in the center, and I, some reason, thought that this wouldn't work actually before. So the bishop's not there. With the bishop there, you kind of need the rook protecting the pawn, maybe. Although the bishop would protect it. But yeah, I thought this would be hanging a pawn. I probably would have played it, truthfully. So that's on me, I suppose. But life goes on. And I miss the fact that the pawn can be pushed. But it's still very good for me, obviously. My opponent hasn't played very smartly. Even if I miss the ideas tactically, it should just positionally be better. Although position and tactics are the same thing. Just position is a way of referring to tactics that span longer pieces of time, or tactics within some abstract realm in which tactics somehow aren't real, but I mean, I'd have to use different definitions and really explain what I mean, but tactics and position are the same thing. Just, we colloquially use them to refer to different levels of abstraction and time between moves and tangible results. Okay, I play this. Interesting that h4 is proved of before by the engine. Really, it just doesn't like that. Perhaps because it's slow, I don't entirely understand. h4 here doesn't get approval. So why this whole trading the bishop idea not the most accurate? Well, okay, this pieces are already there. So here castles is, no, that's black. Again, it just wants d5, so I'm gonna ignore that. Here it mentions h4, but d5 might have also been better. So I keep missing this idea of d5, and it gets me maybe this pawn structure, and there are ideas of this, and everything else is kind of weakening. Although it's a bit less bad for them at this point, I think. Why is h4 such a great move to start with? Let's say they play a move that does nothing. It does want me to just jam this. Let's say they play another move that does nothing. h6. They want it all the way in there, and then here, there's that, and d5 would make sense. E takes is weird. I feel like you'd be no, but the knight's hanging, so you gotta. Then I don't know. Here and then you can try to trade probably. He wants bishop g5, which g5 squares this one. Just going for this. I guess I have a strong grip, and I can see how that could maybe lead to checkmate. The pawn all the way up there is sometimes just doesn't feel like it's doing all too much, but also feels like it's doing everything, so it's just a weird move, which is something that I play because I've seen it played so many times, but and I mean, I saw the tangible idea of, you know, maybe like this, but that's not even the top line. It wants the bishop here, rather than immediately playing with it, and there's a lot of different deep concepts that go together with each other, I assume. I just move the bishop and the queen. Then they force me to play d5. This happens. They just don't like it. But I mean, I've kind of looked at it. So this is weird because I did kind of give their knight a nice square, but I didn't think it was too big of a deal. I trade, which is apparently a miss. I guess I'm missing a lot. a4 is best. Yeah, a4 is not really a move I would think to play, because I'm thinking that maybe I have more opportunities on the king side, and if I have more opportunities on the king side, then it would be better to play on the king side and not to open up the queen side. But I suppose that the reason behind this is really deep and has to do with me starting to play on the queen side first. But with all this, traded or whatever, I will have more pressure on these pawns and everything. And with my more threats on the king side, which I cannot access because I don't really have squares to access the king side, I kind of have to do so through the queen side. And I think that's part of the reason why a4 is a move, because I have to go through here to get to here. Whereas I'm saying, well, I don't want them to go here because I want to be able to play here and have a kind of unrestricted manner, but I don't really have anything to do here. And I think that's the reasoning behind it, but I can't really say. I have nothing to tell me. The chess AIs are way too terrible, and I don't have a chess coach. So yeah, what's this a4 idea? I'm gonna wait for maybe to make a mistake that the eval really doesn't like, for me to continue looking at this, because I feel like a lot of the ideas that I'm skipping over here just involve plans that I think I've explained to myself fully, but I cannot verify any further without a second opinion. 196 check. So that's interesting, because I thought this pawn was just kind of a weakness, and I see good in targeting it, but I feel like I'm not immediately getting anything. This can only really be bad for me. What's h5? I assume if I don't play h5, then they will try to do something like this. It's hard to come up with a move that I feel like is particularly useful for black. Let's say they just relinquish the file, or maybe they get their king to a different diagonal. Would that make sense? Probably not. This is really miserable looking at it, but it seems really miserable the other way to me too. Let's say they just relinquish the file. It does want h5, and if let's say they just do this. How is takes doing? Yeah, I feel like there's kind of something to it. And now their king is kind of weak, and I can harass these central pawns while maybe moving my knight around, but I just don't see necessarily the win immediately, and that's part of the issue with a lot of these positions. You gotta be very accurate, and even if I'm wrong, it's hard for me to really figure that out, unless I really spend a lot of time, which, sometimes I'm fine. And I think it's a good use of time to really focus on analyzing game, but I think this is sufficient here. Analyzing game takes a lot of time. I mean, I'm being very lazy with it right now, and it's still taking a ton of time, so I do this. There are ideas of just sacking, I think. If nothing is done, let's say they play this move. Rook takes d4 is my first thought, but it's losing. H takes g. But with that, okay, let's not put that move on the board. I don't know, but how do you make a useless move? Let's say this gets played, because I'm trying to look at it conceptually, and it does like this move most, perhaps. Rook takes d4. Yeah, rook takes d4 is the only move, so I wasn't completely unfounded, but maybe it was not the best use. Also, this game makes me kind of want to play more classical, because I just felt like I had no time to really explore things with the depth they needed in this game. B takes is crazy to me. Or not that crazy, but oh well, it wants c3. Actually, which is Queen c2 is the first thing that comes to my mind. Queen e2. Maybe I could make some calculation, but here, and rook c1. Yep. Oh, there's a mate I'm supposed to see? Queen e7. Yeah, I guess there's just a mate. Here is what they would show. I play this just because I'm like, there's nothing really to do. So I just solidified it. Once knight e4, which is a move I considered, but I felt like, can they take this pawn? Knight 2. And if this, oh, that's not the top move? What world are we living in where that's not the top move? I guess because discover ideas, maybe. Huh, there really isn't anywhere to go. Actually, yeah, there's just nowhere to go. What do you do? Just lose, I guess? Yeah, there's just nothing to do there. Okay. So I just play this. They move the bishop, attacking that. Back, they go there. Didn't really feel like they're doing too much here. They take this, and I decided, what the hell, let's do this. Okay. Rook takes d4 is the top move. They take with the king, which it's interesting. I don't know. Here we want bishop to b7, f4, queen d2. So bishop to b7 tickles the rook. Why would we tickle the rook? I don't have the slightest idea. Like, I really don't. Wait, why am I doing this? Okay, it seems like the engine changed its mind. Because this was giving more than that, right? Bishop b7 is not a good move. Queen d2 is shown. Yeah, I thought of, maybe actually I even played that. I think I played rook d2. That makes sense. f4. Yeah, I can see it's kind of, but I don't know. It's felt like a lot of complications for 30 seconds. Which is kind of why I need to be playing classical. Let's go, no, I want to play this. And here, wow, do you want to move like the queen or something? Let's say they just play whatever the top move is. Get this. Yeah, they can't take it. Can't take it with the rook because that loses a piece, so I see. So I just play this, which is slow and not really useful, but it's inferior to queen d2. Whatever. Okay. They actually play the top move because I guess they kind of had to. I missed, yeah. I saw this during the game, but I didn't see it at this point in time, so. Really? Oh, I guess that doesn't even defend that square because there are 3 attackers. I don't think I saw that there are 3 attackers on that square. And then they plunder the queen. Perhaps partially fearing this, but they're, they can just take that probably. So I don't know why they didn't. Yeah, they won queen takes f2. I didn't see that was possible. Maybe my opponent also didn't see that was possible. So this is a really terrible game for me. Really, really bad. But, I think it's kind of nice seeing games and going, oh, I played poorly, because when I look at games and I go, oh, there's something to improve upon, that gives me a lot of hope that I can actually, like, improve. Because what's really annoying is when it feels like you're doing everything right, but the numbers obviously don't show that I'm a grandmaster, so yeah, but so it's really nice to see that I'm not doing well. There are definitely hurdles I could overcome here, and by overcoming those, for example, always calculating the central pawns. I do want to make a list, which I had done previously kind of, but I never really finished it, but a list where I can maybe consider going over different types of ideas in every single position over and over again, and that's just being the way I play chess. I'm not sure that's possible with time, but maybe it is, you know, always looking for like forks of pieces, like on every move, just calculating the central pawns, or, you know, just pawn stuff. If that's possible, that's nice, but I don't know. Yeah, this was bad. I had ideas of playing d4. I think that's what I would have done if I didn't realize, but I didn't realize that I could just play d4. I thought I would have been hanging. And then here, this is some calculation, but again, it's some calculation I probably should do. And oftentimes at this elo, stuff like this could just be winning, so. But I was able to get a good position. I feel like I pretty much always get a good position out of the opening. Ideas like here may be fine, but I could have maybe done better things. Here, I don't remember what I thought of this. This move, it wants a4. Yeah, a4 is an idea which maybe I could learn from. It's hard to apply because it's kind of like, there's no real rule to this stuff, but here, I should be able to notice, hey, I'm not breaking through on the king side. I'm maybe playing hope chess, thinking like, oh, well, I should just break through on the king side. But, you know, I should know. I can't just do that, so let's play on the king side, recognizing that positionally I am better. And while I am better on here, I can't immediately deal with this, but opening some files and some squares, I should be able to turn this into a winning middle or end game by actually engaging on the queen side rather than trying to play on the king side, despite the fact that there's literally nothing I can do on the king side immediately. So then my opponent takes over here, well, I don't really contest all this, and then they get a better position. That's how my opponent got a better position, and